guys, so for this Fueling Friday, we're going to be talking all about supplements. So for those of you that don't know, a supplement is anything that you're adding on top of your diet to help meet a gap or to supplement your diet. So that can be anything from a multivitamin, protein powder, to maybe an ergogenic aid. So that's anything that's going to enhance your performance in your sport. So if you don't already know this, supplement regulation is quite limited. In fact, the FDA doesn't really regulate much of what goes into supplements. So it's very important to be very careful about what supplements you decide to take and to work with a professional sports dietitian like myself to ensure that what you do decide to take meets these regulations that I'm going to talk about today. So first and foremost, I always tell people to consider the safety of the product they're considering. So what does research say about the side effects of that product? Has there been any research done on the short-term or long-term effects of taking that particular product? And really analyzing what the effects can be if there's any drug nutrient interactions or anything like that that you need to consider before you start taking that supplement. So that's the first thing I always talk to people about. The second thing is the efficacy. So is the product you're considering taking effective? Again, that's where I, as a sports dietitian, would look at the research on what's been done with that product. Does it improve performance? Does it meet your goals? What has research shown about adding that product into your diet? And then finally, is it legal? So when I talk about legality, I'm not necessarily talking about whether it's legal in the US or not, although of course that would be important. I'm talking more specifically about drug testing and banned substances. So if you're a collegiate athlete, if you're considering being a collegiate athlete, if you're a professional athlete or anyone that gets drug tested, you want to make sure that you're choosing a supplement that's been third-party tested. This ensures that it's not cross-contaminated with anything that's a banned substance. It's not laced with anything that's a banned substance. And it's also not going to have contamination with heavy metals and things that obviously we want to avoid. So it can be quite confusing when you're considering taking a supplement. So again, what I would do when I'm working with a client is look first at their diet and see if there's any gaps in their diet that need to be aided with that supplement. So let's say someone is a vegan. I would maybe consider supplementing B12 because they can't meet their B12 needs through their diet. But that's really something that you want to make sure that you're considering first. Look at your diet first. Look at the changes you can make in your diet first before considering taking a pill or a powder to try to enhance your health or performance. And the last thing I did want to talk about was specifically the third-party testing organizations that I mentioned. So in a little bit, I'm going to show you some of the ones that I like best because they test for all the banned substances in maybe NCAA and things of that nature. So you want to make sure that you're choosing these reputable third-party tested supplements if you're considering taking a supplement. So let's get into that. Alrighty, so here are some common supplements and I'll show you guys what the little label for the third-party testing can look like and what organizations to look for. So for this one, it's been third-party tested by Informed Choice, trusted by Sport, which is one that I like because they test for quite a few things. The same thing is true for this protein powder right here. This other one has been tested by NSF Certified for Sport, which is actually my favorite because they do the most rigorous testing. So you can really ensure that there's no banned substances in it and what you're seeing on the label is actually what's in the product. The same is true for this vitamin D supplement. You'll see it's also NSF Certified for Sport. And then finally, for this calcium supplement, it's actually been third-party tested by USP, which is another good one to look for, especially with things like vitamins and minerals. So you can ensure that it's a good product. So hopefully you guys found that helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.